CELPIP reading exam has a time limit, it has difficult words, difficult passages. You need some shortcuts, you need some magic tricks, and these are literally the magic tricks you can use in CELPIP that effortlessly help you get answers. It's almost a miracle how easy they are, and they're right in front of you, but you don't notice. So my job is to show that to you today and make your life easier. In this video, I'm going to discuss parts 1 and 2 and the magic strategies there. Then in part 2, I'm going to make another video. It's going to be uploaded in 2 days. I'm going to cover the magic strategies in parts 3 and 4. So please subscribe if you haven't already so you can get notified about that upcoming video. Here is one example of the question. This is part 1. These are the questions. Now, I'm not going to read everything. I'm going to skim through. In fact, I'm just going to get the main idea, because in CELPIP, getting the main idea, getting the overall impression, the interpretation is very important. So this person writes, "Dear friends," so he's writing to his friends, "as a number of you already know that I have recently accepted a position with another company, so I'll be leaving by the end of this week." Fine. Okay. Not gonna read more. "I want you all to know that I'm truly leaving here with mixed feelings, happy about the new career, but sad to be whatever." So same thing like when people quit jobs, right? "Thank you so much for making my time a good one." Okay, fine. "My very best wishes for the future go out to each and every one of you." Perfect. Okay, that's all I'm gonna read. And let me now try to answer the first question. Jason Hurley, who is this writer, is writing this letter to, I would say, his colleagues, because earlier he said, "Dear friends," and this is about a job situation. So it cannot be coordinator, director, or clients because he is talking to an office team here, talking about projects and career. So it has to be colleagues. Easy, right? So some answers you can get right away just by interpreting and skimming through the entire passage. Also, we were just looking at the first sentences of each paragraph. The first sentences usually have the main idea of the rest of the paragraph. So you can feel free to glance over the rest of the paragraph, but look at the first few lines in more detail to get an overall idea. Now, once we go later to the other questions, they are more technical, they require more reading, so that's fine, we'll leave them for later. That question 1 was a gift in the basket and we couldn't ignore that. However, I wanted to bring you down here because I can now answer literally every single question 6 to 10 without ever going back up in the passage. I'll tell you why. Look, after you're done with the first 5 or 6, whatever is the first section of the questions, you have a response letter. So this is where the people who were being addressed earlier, aka the friends, are now going to respond to Jason. So what likely are going to be their responses? Let's have a look. "Dear Jason, we just want to say congratulations for accepting a new job. We couldn't be more." Now, this one, I'm just going to put the question here in highlight, and I'm going to say something, okay? So we couldn't be more something to see your success come into fruition. What will they say? Well, they'll probably be happy, right? They're going to be positive. So they couldn't be more proud. Concave is the opposite. They're not going to be curious. They're not looking for new jobs either. They're not flushed, like not overly excited. I mean, they're not getting a promotion. So an appropriate word here will be proud. They're proud to see his success. That's what a friend would say to another. This is what you can get from interpretation. Now, let's put this in something. We remember the something, and that's all the sentence says. We remember the last something. Okay, so I don't know. I can't answer right now because it's really not specific. I need more hints. Let me go to the next sentence. "We did a great job working as a CES team," whatever the company is. Now, they worked as a team, so this must be a project that they worked on. So I used the second sentence after the question to get an idea, and this is in fact the correct answer. It's project. Fine. Okay, let's keep going. "You had better experience to tackle any something with your multitasking something." Multitasking, usually what do you say? Multitasking skills, multitasking ability, and skills is a very close word, so I can use that. Talent, multitasking is not a talent. You can say that it's a talent, but it's related to skills. It's the amount of work you are doing with the multitasking. So skills is a more appropriate and a common word you would use right after multitasking. So now I already know the next thing that they're trying to say, with your multitasking skills. So what could go here that would reflect multitasking skills? Well, this person, conflict and multitasking doesn't match up, couldn't do difficult task multitasking. Well, maybe it's a difficult task, but it should be tasks, plural, to match multitasking. Massive projects, yeah. New experiences, it's very general. But if I say that there's massive projects, if there are multiple projects and this guy is using multitasking skills, that would fit in perfectly. And those two are the answers. So the sentence becomes, you had better experience to tackle any massive projects with your multitasking skills. That is the correct answer. It's appropriate to the tone here. And interestingly, these last three answers, if you notice, had nothing to do with the passage above. These were just based on the tone of this response letter. So if you were making the mistake of trying to go up and finding answers for 7, 8, and 9, you will be wasting time. It is simply based on the tone of how these friends are addressing Jason. Okay? Let's keep going. We hope you will receive great experiences at your workplace. Fine. Thanks so much for being a part of the team. We would like to talk to you before. Now, this one is confusing. They would like to talk to me when. This, I need to go up and see any reference about him saying that I'm going to meet up sometime. Usually, where is that? It's towards the end. And he says, thank you so much for making my time. I will invite any of you to speak to me before I leave on Friday. So he's leaving on Friday. What is something similar to that option? Tomorrow, I don't know if tomorrow is Friday. The end of your shift today, I don't know if today is Friday. Termination, not mentioned. The last day of the week, which is Friday as a business day. So this is going to be the right answer. And that's it. And if I were not talking and explaining it to you guys, I can finish all of this in 2 minutes, right? Because I'm just looking at the tone and the interpretation. And out of all the 5 questions, there was really just one question where I had to go up and find the answer. Everything else, I just looked at the tone of the way they were talking. I observed that. I observed the first passage, just looked around it and got an idea, and then just went down. And now imagine if you have 10 minutes for this, and you're also done with question number 1. All of the other questions and the response were done in 2 minutes. So now you literally have all the time left for questions 2 to 5. You're going to do an amazing job here because you have the hardest questions with the most amount of time, and now you can relax. So this works when you interpret and look at the tone, and you don't have to keep going in the passage to get the answers. Similarly, when we go to part 2, the magic trick here, guys, is in these questions 6 to 8. Now, with questions 1 to 5 here, okay, there are 5 questions that are embedded in this initial passage, multiple paragraphs. You have to give them time. You have to look at the keywords here, go up in the question and match them. However, for these questions, I see a lot of people struggle and try to find spaces where these can be found. Well, it's easy. Look, if you see the passage, you have the first question starting here, which means all of this was not relevant. But wait a second, it is relevant. Why? Because this part will help you answer question 6 onward. And if you see this part, which doesn't have any questions, that will also help you answer the remaining questions. That is the reason that is mentioned. That is extra information that can be used later. So that's the magic trick there, guys. Have a look here. It says, I hope you're having an amazing day. Sales numbers have been showing promising signs, especially lately. So this would help me get an answer to a question I have here. What kind of business person do you think Mr. Hernandez is? And the answer was a successful one, because that part said the sales number has been going up. Then, if you keep reading, I look forward to briefing them on Monday. For now, I have compiled a summary of your personal cell phone options. Now, there was a question here. The cell phone project, and the answer is a non-business matter, because that part said it's a personal thing. Then you keep reading towards the end. That's all I could muster up given the tight deadline, but was it what you had expected? Being a novice at this, I hope I have done my best to satisfy your requirements. So Paul, the person who is writing, wants to do his best. I hope I have done my best. There's your hint for that. And usually when people are doing 6 to 8, they're still looking at this part. And don't get me wrong, you might have the answers there. However, 90% of the times where you were not looking at initially, which is going to be this area, this is not where answers will be found. These places will be where answers will be for questions 6 to 8. And that's the magic trick that you want to pay attention to secure a good mark here. That's it, guys. Next video, we tackle parts 3 and 4. So please subscribe, like, and share. We'll talk soon.